I don't think it's sunk in. This is the first one of these for me, as far as, unlike Broussard, I had no personal relationship with Kobe Bryant. And I've never had a celebrity death that registered with me the way I know so many have with other people. I remember the outpouring when Michael Jackson passed, and I'll be totally candid, I didn't understand it. I understood people appreciated his music and appreciated his career, but I didn't understand the grief people were feeling, and now I do. I am still in a stage of disbelief, Chris. When the news came across my Twitter feed, as I think with so many people, I said, well, it can't be right. And then as the news seemingly only got sadder and sadder, and it was confirmed, and then we also know his 13-year-old daughter passed away along with 7 other people, I don't even know how to wrap my arms around it, and I am in true shock that Kobe Bryant, 1978 to 2020, that we are not going to see Kobe Bryant sitting courtside at Laker games when he's old and gray, and that we're not going to get to see this next phase of his life that he seemed to be so excitedly embracing over the last few years of his retirement.
Yeah, like everyone, I mean, I was in shock. I was actually in the air when I found out. I was flying to Chicago and then en route to here, and somebody had texted me OMG, and I shot back a question mark, and they said Kobe died. And I was like, this can't be Kobe Bryant. And I text Kobe Bryant question mark, and they said, yeah. And I began seeing other stuff because we were about to land in the news, and it was like a gut punch. And as you said, Nick, I mean, I've seen tragedies. I was a very little kid when Roberto Clemente died of a plane crash. Thurman Munson, I was older and could understand when he died with the Yankees. Magic Johnson, when he came down, got HIV.
People thought he was going to die in short order.
And Roy Halladay, even more recently, the great pitcher. But I haven't experienced anything like this in the world of sports in my lifetime. This is the most tragic for me that I've ever seen. And there are a lot of reasons to be devastated, but one was that Kobe had transitioned so smoothly to life after basketball, which surprised me because he has such tunnel vision as a player that I actually was one that thought he might have trouble transitioning because basketball was so much a part of his life and really was his life. But I mean, I haven't seen a transition this smooth.
Better.
Business venture. He's a venture capitalist. Won an Oscar, for his movie Dear Basketball. Best-selling author for the Mamba Mentality book. And a family man, a tremendous family man. That's why we didn't see him at as many Laker games, because he was spending time coaching his kids. Ironically, the last time I saw him was about a year ago at the mall in Newport Beach, where he lived, and he was with his family. And we spoke for about 10 minutes. He seemed so comfortable and so just comfortable in life after basketball. And so that's one of the reasons of many that is most devastating to me.
Well, Jenna, what Broussard talked about right there was my immediate reaction once you start to process it is there are certain guys who you really do worry about once their career's over. No matter how much money or fame or accolades they have, what will they do? And will they always be trying to reclaim their athletic fame? And I would have thought Kobe was going to be tops on that list because he was such an amazing competitor. And he seemed to have just an almost animalistic need to compete, to defeat you, to have there be some scoreboard that he was on the top of. But instead, he went a totally different way. He totally threw himself into, it would appear, the things he maybe always had a passion for, but deprived himself of because he was so focused on singular greatness as a basketball player. And so he gets into films. He's always reading a different book. And he gets his sports fix through his daughters. And that's the part that, for everyone, to me, is so jarring about it. And it makes you, honestly, reconsider all your decisions. It makes you, like, all of us, spend time away from our families for a career we're very focused on. Broussard, if I may, you're bi-coastal. Right. And I spent a year and a half living in a different city than my wife and kids and going back and forth. And it makes you just think, like, does any of it matter other than the things that actually matter? And Kobe was finally getting to do the things for him that actually matter. And to have that stripped from him, and selfishly for all of us to lose getting to see what the next 50 years of a savant, a brilliant person that was trilingual, person that could show the ability to get to the top of multiple fields, what he would have done, the things he was already trying to do for women's basketball, it is a tragedy unlike I can remember in the sports world in my lifetime.
So for me, I was at another network when the news of the Michael Jackson passing happened, and I was just starting my career when Princess Di tragically was killed. Those were the only two that I can remember that had such an incredible global reach. But we didn't live really in the time of as intense social media as we do now, where you get the immediate impact of how much Kobe Bryant has touched everyone. I mean, far from just basketball. You scroll down any of your feeds, and he has affected just about everyone. And I know you both touched on it, but my question to you is, how much bigger was Kobe Bryant than just the basketball accolades, which in and of itself are tremendously impressive? Well,
first of all, basketball-wise, on a world stage, he was as big as anyone. Because in Asia, he was arguably the biggest NBA player there. So basketball-wise, I mean, his impact is second to none. And that includes Michael Jordan and LeBron James as far as worldwide prominence and being a face of the game. But, Nick kind of touched on it. A lot of athletes, even if they go on to do some really good things after their playing career, the best part, at least to the public, of their life was going to be their sports career. I'm not sure that was going to be the case with Kobe Bryant because he's only been retired, 3 or 4 years? 3 years?
3.5 years.
And he's already done so many tremendous things. And so what he was going to do, I don't know if he would have ever delved into politics or whatever. He obviously was intelligent enough, was well respected enough to do things like that. But he was going to do some tremendous things off the court. And again, that is one of the things that makes it so tragic in my mind.
And I don't know if this makes it sadder or makes it, more palatable, probably somewhere in between. When he was in the public, right in the public eye Saturday night, the night before, because the Lakers were in Philly and LeBron passed him in the scoring list. And so what you saw from Kobe with his tweet after the game, with Bill Plaschke in the LA Times wrote about today, was Kobe was truly at peace and was no longer engaging in the petty stuff that I find myself engaging in all the time of this player versus that player. He was so confident and satisfied with what he had accomplished in basketball that he had, I don't want to say removed himself from the fray, but he was wanting now just to lift others up and to move on to other phases. So you're glad he got that piece, but it is for Kobe's family, for the families of the other people on that airplane, or on that helicopter, for everyone, it is the type of thing, and this is not, I'm just going to be totally candid. These 3 hours today, it's just going to be, soul-searching. But it's the type of thing I'll talk with Broussard off the air about, in that Broussard is a man of deep, deep faith. To be totally candid, I am not so much. And it is the type of thing that makes you question either. And that is the impact of something like this. You either say, like, how is this fair? Or this is where you grab someone's hand who has that type of faith and you say, this is how you get through these types of things. And God willing, I hope his 3 other daughters and his wife have that support structure around them, because this is unbelievable.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.